Hey, over the next 4 Thursdays at lunch, we're going to be studying the book of Thessalonians. It's a book, it's a letter, it's in the New Testament, most likely the first book of the New Testament to be written. And Paul wrote it about 50 CE. Molly Marshall just published a theological commentary on 1 Thessalonians. She's a friend of Woodland. She's been here many times. And she says, you can tell this is an early letter because it's almost like Paul's theology isn't fully formed yet. She describes the Trinitarian language especially as embryonic as compared with the theological and Trinitarian language Paul uses in, say, Romans and Galatians. Overall, this is an encouraging letter meant to affirm a group of Christ followers who are embodying resurrection life in a pluralistic urban community. Paul tells them, "For we know, brothers and sisters, beloved by God, that God has chosen you." God has chosen you. This doesn't mean the Thessalonians are God's favorites necessarily. It doesn't mean Christians are God's favorites. Paul is speaking from a theological imagination founded upon Hebrew scriptures, firm in the teachings of Israel. He's speaking as a Jew, and that chosenness from that perspective was less about being God's favorites and more about being God's called, chosen to be an instrument of God's redemptive work in the world. It's the calling of Abraham to be blessed, to be a blessing, right? And that redemptive work of blessing is passed on to the Thessalonians now, and perhaps even from them to us, because we're invited into this redemptive work as we seek to be a blessing through the kind of communities we create today. I'm excited to talk more about 1 Thessalonians with you over the coming weeks. I look forward to seeing you at the table. See you soon.